Hello, everyone. We are sincerely grateful to you to be here in spite of a heat wave. And so just watching this film, I think I started to be a little bit emotional because I saw all these beautiful places, all these fields, all the people, these farmers we met during 4 years. And it was nice to have this experience. What these people did when we met first, our first idea was to really thinking on what is our goal, what is our objective, and we wrote this manifesto. Sustainable farming is no longer an option. It is an absolute necessity. We need to shift understanding of agriculture from one of working the land to one of working with nature. The solutions exist, and it can mitigate climate change and improve biodiversity in agroecosystems. And we know that it's not just sustainable for the planet, but also sustainable for the economy and for the livelihood of people. We call it agroecology. We are seeing its positive impacts on ecosystem and communities across Europe, and we aim to open everyone's eye to its possibilities and potential. That was our ultimate goal. And in that, Agroecology TRANSECT stands for Transdisciplinary Approach for Systemic, Economic, Ecological, and Climate Change Transition, which means that we will explore all these different dimensions. So our main goal, agroecology aims to provide different types of stakeholders, farmers, farm advisors, social movement, decision makers with knowledge on the key enablers and barriers to actual uptake at farm and territory levels, contributing to a dependable knowledge base for EU policy design and implementation. And this objective will really focus on this different stakeholders group. And this is how we build the program today. You will see that we will go through what you can see on the right. First, we think that we need to understand social movement narrative to address tensions between institutional and more political definition. And this is what we will explore in the first block of this program, focusing on social movements. We aim to quantify the potential of agroecology for climate change adaptation and mitigation, biodiversity and farm socioeconomic resilience. We aim to foster local co-created knowledge by engaging in real-life agroecological context, and you will see that 11 innovation hubs are really at the heart of our program. And we aim to provide locally relevant tools and indicators frameworks that allow monitoring progress towards the Green Deal objectives. And this is what we will do just after the lunch break by presenting a multi-criteria assessment tool we have developed. And this is, of course, what we will do at the end of the day in our science policy dialogue session. Central to our project, there were these 11 innovation hubs. We call them innovation hubs because hubs is a place where people meet. Innovation hub is what we aim to produce. But if you don't understand innovation hub, it's quite close to living lab. And these are action-oriented. We are doing action-oriented research in these 11 innovation hubs. And these 11 innovation hubs, they aim to represent the diversity of European agriculture. 3 of these innovation hubs in French Massif Central, in Switzerland, and in Bulgaria, there are grassland-based systems. 4 are annual cropping system. Some are organic, some mainly refer to conservation agriculture. And these are in Denmark, the Netherlands, Belgium, and Romania. 2 investigate integrated crop livestock system, one in the south of Spain, in Andalusia, and we are very happy to also have our colleagues from French West Indies in Guadeloupe, because this also opens to the tropical world. In Hungary, our colleagues from OMKI are investigating the benefits of cover crops in vineyards and orchards. And last but not least, in Slovenia, we are more at the food system level, by working on a knowledge hub for organic farmers who deliver vegetable box to Ljubljana inhabitants. So you see that there was a huge diversity. So I will not present you all what we did in the project, but it's just a teaser to see that to show you that you will visit some of these innovation hubs today. At the start of the afternoon, in the talk by Cecilia, we'll work on our multi-criteria. We will present some insights from our multi-criteria assessment tool to monitor performance of agroecological farms by combining measurements at farm and plot level. You will have some results coming from Belgium, Spain, and Guadeloupe. And we will present you the Stream T tool. Also, in the last session of the day, we will focus on policy and especially on policy instruments facilitating or inhibiting agroecology. We will give some general statements, but we will also focus on some of the learning we gain in Denmark, Hungary, French Massif Central, and Guadeloupe. And we will also connect the knowledge from these practitioners and see whether the indicators we use in our multi-criteria assessment tool match or do not match with the policy indicators. And you have one policy brief on that on your table that will be presented also during this session. And we will have also another policy brief focusing on barriers and levers to the expansion of agroecology in Europe in this session. And of course, as this innovation are central to our project, we will tell you more in this afternoon about how we co-created knowledge in real-life context. And we will have 3 panelists from Hungary, Bulgaria, and Belgium in here, but we are also happy to have partners from Romania and Spain in the room with whom we can also interact. And also one of these policy briefs really dedicated to these issues. Final word is that we do, as this was also already mentioned in the film, we do not only focus on what we learn, we are also interested on how we learn. We opted to really a reflexive position during all the project. When we wrote the project, we had written a description of action, and this description developed a theory of change. Theory of change explains why we did what we will do. This theory of change results in action plan. Action plan is what we really do, and end with a learning history that is reflexive and during which we think on what we have learned during this period. And for the innovation hubs, there were really key moments that were these 5 co-innovation workshops that constitute key events for the innovation hubs, because first they will update their learning history and write the next action plan for the next year. But this is also where we learn from the innovation hubs, where the different innovation hubs learn together. And so these were key events. And of course, this will be developed in our session on co-creation of knowledge this afternoon. But right now, in the session on social movement, we will explain you how we debated the Nielini pillars of agroecology in our 3rd co-innovation workshop. And we did not agree, but we agreed to disagree, and we agreed to understand why we don't agree. And that's why we developed Q methodology to more formally analyze our consensus and dissensus. This is what will be part also of the first block. So I'm leaving you with this slide where you can see the different partners and our purpose, laying the groundwork for agroecology as the future of farming by learning, engaging, and inspiring action. Thanks for your attention.